Let's talk about the single most effective way to protect your digital life. Because honestly, the world of cybersecurity can feel, well, just impossibly complex, right? But the truth is, the essential steps you need to take to stay safe online are actually way clearer than you think. Okay, let's dive in.
So here's where we're going. We're going to start with the big picture, the absolutely massive scale of the cybercrime economy. Then we'll zoom right in on the specific tricks scammers use and how new AI tools are seriously changing the game. After that, we'll focus on the powerful, practical tools you can use to protect yourself before we zoom back out to see what all this means for our shared digital future.
To really get why this all matters so much, we have to start with the sheer scale of the problem. And the numbers, well, they're pretty staggering. $13.82 trillion. Let that sink in for a second. That's what cybercrime is projected to cost the world in just a few years. I mean, to put that into perspective, that single number is bigger than the damage from all natural disasters combined, every single year. We're not just talking about money stolen from a bank account here. We're talking about lost productivity, stolen ideas, and damage to reputations that can literally sink a business. This isn't just some vague threat. It is a full-blown global crisis. And that cost? It's a drag on our entire economy. It makes companies think twice about investing in new ideas, and that slows down innovation for all of us. It affects the price of things we buy, the availability of jobs, and really the pace of progress for everyone, from the smallest local business to the biggest global corporations. Okay, so how does this massive economic threat actually reach you and me? Well, it usually starts not with some brilliant piece of code, but with psychology. See, most cyber attacks don't break through a firewall, they walk right through the front door by targeting the most vulnerable part of any system: us, people. It's called social engineering. And the most common form of this is something you've definitely seen before: phishing. It's a really simple idea with a powerful impact. The US Federal Trade Commission puts it perfectly. It's all about deception, using a simple email or text to trick you into handing over the keys to your digital kingdom. So, how do you spot one in the wild? Just ask yourself a few questions. First off, is the greeting super generic, like "Dear customer," instead of using your actual name? Does it try to create this false sense of panic, saying there's a problem that you have to fix right now? And does it have some suspicious link pushing you to update your payment info? These are the classic red flags, and they're all designed to do one thing: make you panic and click before you think. Because the end game is always, always the same. They want your credentials, your passwords, your account numbers, your social security number. And with that data, they can drain your bank account, take over your email, or even sell your identity on the dark web. The stakes here are incredibly high. Now, just when we're all getting a little better at spotting those classic scams, the attackers are getting a whole lot smarter. They're starting to use artificial intelligence to make their attacks way more convincing, way more personal, and much, much harder to spot. The main tool they're using is deep fake technology. AI can now create incredibly realistic fake videos, images, and audio clips. I mean, just imagine getting a frantic phone call from a family member begging for money, but it's not actually them. It's an AI that has cloned their voice. This is not science fiction, folks. It's being used for fraud right now. This tech is moving so fast that our own eyes and ears are becoming, well, unreliable. And the growth of this threat is just exponential, a 550% increase in just 4 years. That means your chances of running into a really sophisticated AI-powered scam are going up every single day. This is a problem that is definitely growing, not shrinking.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about the threats. Now let's pivot to the solutions. And I'm telling you, the single most effective thing you can do to protect your accounts is to use something called multi-factor authentication, or MFA. This is your absolute best defense.
So, what is it? Well, to put it simply, MFA just requires you to prove you are who you say you are in more than one way. Think of it like having 2 or even 3 different kinds of locks on your front door. Even if a thief manages to steal your password, which is your first key, they still can't get in. It is so effective that turning on MFA can block over 99.9% of attacks that try to compromise your account. Now, you've probably heard of two-factor authentication, or 2FA. It's important to know the difference. Think of it this way. 2FA is like a door with 2 very specific locks. MFA, on the other hand, is like a fortress with multiple layers of defense. It could be 2 locks, or it could be a lock, a moat, and a guard dog. It's just a more flexible and tougher security standard. And using it is incredibly simple. First, you enter your password like you always do. Then the service just asks for a second proof of who you are. Maybe it's a code sent to your phone, a quick tap on an authenticator app, or just a fingerprint scan. Once you provide it, you're in. You're probably already doing this every day when you log into your bank or email. It's a tiny little extra step for you, but it's a massive wall for a hacker. These factors all fall into three basic categories. There's something you know, like a password or a PIN. There's something you have, like your phone or a little physical security key. And then there's something you are, like your fingerprint or your face. The real power of MFA comes from combining factors from at least two of these different categories. So MFA is definitely your strongest lock, but it's not the only tool you should have in your security toolkit. Let's look at some other really simple habits that can offer you some big-time protection. Here's a really straightforward 4-point plan. 1. Use security software, and please set it to update automatically. 2. Do the exact same thing for your phone and computer. Those updates contain critical fixes for new threats. 3. Ditch those simple passwords. Use long, unique passwords for every single account, and let a password manager do the hard work of remembering them. And 4. Back up your data. Seriously, it's your digital insurance policy. But beyond all the technology, the most powerful tool you have is your own vigilance. The best advice is often the simplest. Just think before you click. Be mindful of what information you're sharing and who you're sharing it with. A single moment of caution can prevent a total disaster. So let's zoom back out. We've looked at the threats, we've looked at the personal solutions, but what does this all mean for our collective future online? Well, it all comes down to building something called digital trust. Digital trust isn't just about having good tech. It's built on a few key pillars. Strong cybersecurity, of course, but also a real commitment to user privacy, transparency in how our data gets used, and a fundamental feeling of safety when we're online. All of these pieces have to work together. And this might be the most important takeaway of all. No single group can solve this alone. You play a role by practicing good security habits. Companies have a huge responsibility to build secure products from the ground up, and governments need to create the rules that hold everyone accountable. It's truly a shared responsibility. And that really leaves us with one final critical question. Our lives are only going to get more and more intertwined with the digital world. So the challenge for all of us isn't just to build, but to constantly earn and maintain that essential digital trust. The future of our connected worlds really depends on it.